Hi, this is Sarah Shirley. I'm an artist living locally in Steuben County, and welcome to Make Art. Today, we're going to make a really fun jellyfish windsock. So if you guys want to go ahead and open up your kit, I'm going to point out everything that is in it. So first, you're going to have a plastic dome top. Yours will already be hole punched here and here. Okay, you're gonna have one big long string of curling ribbon, and we're gonna cut up our curling ribbon into smaller pieces. But for now, we're just going over the parts. You're gonna have a piece of thin fishing wire. It's clear. You're going to have some googly eyes. Okay, these are pink. And there's all different sizes. So some are really small. So make sure you check the bottom of your bag. You'll have bigger ones. Okay. You'll have two types of ribbon. Okay. So you'll have two pieces and two pieces. Then you'll have fabric. So your fabric is all going to be different sizes and shapes because it's leftover fabric, so we're not throwing it in the trash. And you'll have all different types and sizes. You may even have a bigger piece of fabric, which you can cut. That's where your creativity is going to come in. And then these are the strips that I made from my bigger pieces of fabric. You may want to have a ruler on hand, but you can always use the area from your fingertips to your elbow to measure. If you need to measure, you'll need some scissors. Oh, and we forgot your adhesive. These are glue dots, and you may have different types of glue dots. You might have these, which are a little bit bigger, which you can cut down to size, because you'll need at least 20 different dots. Even these small ones, you can cut these in half. If you have an adult and you have one, you can use a glue gun. So this is going to be a really fun project, and I want to get started and show you how to make it. But first, let me show you my sample that I made. So here it is, a finished sample, and it's going to look something like this. I put on extra pom-poms just because I had them, but those will not be included. And I had these really fun things around the house, so I used those. So if you want to add anything at home, feel free to use it. Anything recycled, you can make your jellyfish really fun. And don't be worried if there's a lot of strings on your fabric. That actually makes it look more authentic and more real, because jellyfish have a lot of tentacles and they get kind of like all mixed together. So that is our craft that we're going to be making. So now I'd love for you to pick up your cup and notice that there's two holes here. All right. So I want you to find that and put two eyes on the front. Okay. And you want to stay clear of that because that's the last step. All right. So some of you have adhesive eyes. These are self-adhesive. You're going to have to peel the back off. And some of you will have to use a glue dot. And you can always use like your finger for spacing or get as creative as you want. So here are my eyes. I've made the face and I still have my two dots here. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4 up at the top by the opening. Now steer clear of those holes. Make sure you don't put anything over them. Then we're going to find about where the eyes are. We're going to make another layer of strips. And then bottom, we're going to make another layer of strips. So there's top, middle, bottom. Okay, and that's all on the inside of your dome top, not on the outside. All right, so if you have bigger strips, okay, you can get creative. This one's pretty long, so I can cut this in half if I wanted to make more. And if you want, you can use your scissor, but really one thing about woven fabric, which this is, you can just rip it, which is so fun. And I love the sound that it makes. And it also makes your fabric kind of like roll more, okay? So you can rip those up I always like to work with 4 here at the top, then 6, then 8 at the bottom. You can do whatever you want. These are just my suggestions. Every kit is a little bit different. They are as an individual as you are. So you're going to have different colored eyes, different fabric, different colored ribbons. So use your creativity. If you're working on this with a sibling or a friend, maybe you can mix and match. If you have thicker ribbon, you know, you could even cut your ribbon. You know, you can cut it and make it thinner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my strips that I've already cut. And the fun thing is too, you want to vary with the lengths too. So if you have the glue dots that have the little backing, the best way to do that is to put them on and then peel this off, okay? If you have the glue dots that are like really big like this, you can cut yours up into little spaces and you can use them so you have more glue dots, okay? I highly recommend, if you want to use your jellyfish outside, if you have a glue gun or if you have an adult that can help you, you can use that. So here's what you're going to do with the glue dots that look like that, is you're going to put it on the plastic and then you're going to peel the backing off, okay? So let's go ahead and put on 4 pieces of fabric, okay? And you might want to alternate them if you have like various colors. You can alternate, you know, what you want to do. You can make these as fun and fanciful as you like. You can use your creativity because that's what art is. Art is not supposed to look manufactured or mass produced. So now I'm going to take, see how this one has like a slightly different pattern. So I'm going to give that some variety here. And I'm going all along the top, okay? So as close to the opening as you can and leave those holes so you can get your hanger in. Okay, so now see, there's some tentacles and I have varying lengths, okay? And when you're cutting, you can make some shorter, some longer, some wider, some thinner. So I've got the 4 pieces here. All right, now I'm gonna go and use my ribbons to give it some variety. And then I'm also going to use some of these tentacles as well. You're going to have this longer curling ribbon. If you want to go ahead and cut it up into, I cut mine up into 8 different lengths, okay? You can do as whatever you want. These are just suggestions, okay? So now I'm going to start on my second layer, okay? And I'm going to start right here, like near to the eye. And I would do 1 glue dot at a time. And here we're aiming for 6 different strings coming down. So see, now we're getting some variety and some movement and some color. We're creating texture, all right? So now I'm going to put and use your creativity, use your intuition. You don't have to think this through too much because it's going to look good no matter what you do. Okay. I'm going to put another one right here next to the other eye. And I'm going to put my 2 rainbow pieces here in the front. So it's kind of like really fun. Okay. Now, since I did my 2 pieces of ribbon, I'm going to use some fabric. I'm going to clean up as I go. I like to keep my workspace neat because you can stay a little more organized. But if you're messy, that's okay too. When I was making these kits for you all, my studio got really messy. So I spent a couple of hours fixing it up so it would look nice and clean for you, and I could think a little bit better. Okay, so here we're going. So we're making some variety. So I have 3 on in my middle layer, and I'm going to add 3 more. And I'm going to use this blue ribbon right here, just for some nice variety. So that's 4. I'm going to put another piece on. So 5, I've got 5 in here. Look how fun and full it's getting. And it's like got a lot of cool movement. And see how I've made some of these longer and then some short. So that's going to create a lot of fun movement. Okay. And then I'm going to use another ribbon here. And we're not going for perfect here. We're going for fun. We're going for creativity, and we're going for intuition, okay? Look how cute that is. And a jellyfish is clear, and it usually secretes a kind of ink, and the inks can be reds and oranges, but we're using our creativity. This is our jellyfish, okay? So I've got my top layer and my middle layer. Now I'm going to go for the layer right here on the lip of the dome top, okay? And this is where your curling ribbon's going to come in. And you've got either gold or orange or blue. Here's the gold. So it's going to be in your kit like a long piece, and you can cut it into various lengths. If you have a ruler, you can use the ruler, but you can always use that. And you can, what's going to make it look really cool is if you use various lengths, okay? And then your little wire, push that off to the side because they can get lost really easily. Alrighty. So, and I also have some extra strips here. So I might use those. I'm going to just kind of see what looks good. On the edge. And jellyfish do have eyes. That is a fact. Okay. I did look that up on the internet and I saw a picture. They might not look exactly like that. So here's the curly ribbon. All right. And it looks good if you can leave like a really long piece, which I didn't do. I like the curly ribbons to look longer, just because I think it adds a lot of dimension. Okay, so our bottom layer, we're going for 8 pieces, okay? And you see also too, we curled this a little bit. You might even want to leave it uncurled. And I'll show you how to curl it at the end. So if you have the smaller glue dots, you're going to probably have to cut them in half so that you have enough. If you have access to a glue gun, that also works really well. And I'm going to use some of these now. And just for fun, just to show you, I'm going to use my longer piece of gold ribbon and I'm going to cut it. I'm going to make some longer ones. Some longer pieces so you can see what I'm talking about. And again, I suggested making 8, but you can do whatever you want. These are just merely suggestions, okay? I really want to encourage you to use your creativity and see what looks good to you. And if you want to just follow the directions as is, you can do that as well. Okay, so then I put like a longer piece here. So you see how that's really coming down? So that gives it some variety. Be patient with yourself with the glue dots because they can be really hard sometimes to get the back off. All right, so here's another piece of fabric. And I've got some room here, so I'm going to add a couple more pieces. And then I'm going to show you how to do the hanger, okay? And I want to tell you while I'm getting this glue off that I was just on vacation and I actually got stung by a jellyfish, which was really funny. It hurt for a couple of minutes, but then my friend told me to rub sand on it and that helped. And it was just on my finger, but it was kind of frightening. So I'm going to put another longer gold one here because I've got it. And you see how it naturally curls up? I kind of like it like that, just naturally a little longer. I think it looks cool. And I was thinking like, oh, maybe it's just because I've been thinking about jellyfishes and making these. And that's why I got stung, because it knew I was thinking about jellyfish a lot. Now, I promise you that these jellyfish that you're making, they will not sting. But a lot of people will find them fascinatingly attractive and fun. So don't worry, they're not going to sting you. I'm going to use this other piece of gold right here. And then I think that we're going to be done. Now, take as long as you need to do these. You can get really creative and cut your pieces into different sizes, different shapes. They don't even have to be strips. You can do different shapes and sizes. You can make them jagged. All right, so here, this looks pretty good to me. All right, you can kind of comb through it. Now I'll show you, this you might need an adult's help. So if you have a scissor, you don't even have to really open it up. And you're gonna take your thumb and put it like, how do we do this? Oh, here, you want some stuff behind you. Some ribbon behind you. Okay, and then you're just gonna use some tension and you're going to curl it like that. So it gives you that curliness, okay? I kind of like it more loose, like it, you know, it comes. So here's our jellyfish windsock. All right, so now we just have to do the final thing. And feel free, you can even give, if you want, you can give your jellyfish a little cut. You know, you could do fun things like just fray the bottoms. You can cut the ribbon, you know, put little slits in it just for more movement. If you want varying lengths too, you could cut like this piece to make some shorter and some longer. All right, and if you've got like this stringy bits like this from the fabric, or like some of you have silk. Actually, this is silk and cotton, and some of you have straight silk, which is when you, it's really got all those tentacles on it. I would leave them because I think it makes it look really cool. If you have any extra supplies, you can use them. You know, like say I just cut this. You know, if you wanted, you could make like a little eyebrow for your, and it looks like I just froze.